Do you know that different states, they have, in the United States, their own pronunciations going back into history? So, for example, the state of Maryland used to be called Maryland. Obviously, that's where the Catholics were. If you go to other parts of the country, you'll have, for example, the states of Kansas and its nearby neighbor, Arkansas. And there are even states that have their own unique spellings for words. So, for example, in the state of Tennessee, the word golf is spelled Galf. One of the reasons we all like dad jokes is because they are totally and completely unexpected. And they make your eyes roll. And they're a little bit potentially offensive to some. And this is why humor persuasion works, because you're not expecting it. One of the best ways to begin a speech, begin an intro, a cold open, even a sales call or a Zoom workshop. Anytime you're meeting someone and you want to win friends and influence people, one of the best things that you can do is a totally and completely unexpected dad joke like that. And I did that. I was chatting up this redhead the other day, and she indicated that she was from Maryland, given some of the context up there. And so I went up and I told that little spiel, and she was just, laughing her ginger off over there. And that, of course, is how you build instant rapport with people. And you sort of get them out of that zone and you bring them into a place of suggestibility. This, of course, is a principle from hypnosis where you bring them out of state into a different state. Oftentimes in hypnosis sessions, the client or the patient comes in a tizzy. They're anxious. They're starting to unload all the things that they want to change in the intake or at the beginning of the session. What do you want to work on today? How would you like to feel today? Oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And they get into an anxious state, okay? And in that anxious state, we want to bring them out of that anxious state. And so something that is a pattern interrupt can do that. And dad jokes are a great way to do that if you can come up with one that's off the cuff. Now, this particular one with the girl from Maryland and Maryland, it was a natural transition. So it wasn't completely off the wall, but it was related to what was going on right here. Like, let's say, for example, you are at a coffee shop and you want to go chat up somebody over in the corner and they're drinking coffee. Okay, then you think word association. Okay, coffee. What's a dad joke related to coffee? And dad jokes is because like they roll your eyes and there's such an eye roll that the involuntary motion of eye rolling is also associated with chortling or chuckling or snorting or all of the above. And it gets them out of their present state when you found them and into a new state where they're a bit more suggestible. Okay. Just fun times. Just fun times. And in the coffee example, you might be running through your head real quick. Just take like 5 seconds. What's the first thing you think of? Oh, pot, coffee, pot, calling the kettle black. Okay. And then you can make up a dumb dad joke, but you deliver it with seriousness in the same way that I did. And I didn't laugh ahead of time. I didn't give away that it was going to be a joke. I just started taking it seriously, like I'm sharing something. And then boom, out of nowhere, you get the clever punchline. But the thing is, in hypnosis, you make your suggestions a little bit vague. So you've caused the person to imagine it for themselves. This is what the best novelists do. They will say something like, our hero walked into the room. And they'll give maybe 2 or 3 descriptions about what else is in the room and what's the feel or the vibe or the size or something like that. They do not do J.R.R. Tolkien world building, okay, about this room. They do not talk about how it smelled and how it felt and what it reminded him of, and then talk about the memory associated with what it reminded him of, and then the aroma, and over there, and it looks like on the bookshelf over there, because that's not how we think about things in real life. We enter a room, we're in the room, we don't really notice much besides like probably the lighting. And this is where you can do submodalities. So what kind of lighting, right? So what's kind of the thing that you see? If there is there anything to smell in the room? Okay, well, is it sweeter or is it pungent or is it soft or is it overwhelming? Is it natural or is it synthetic? Okay, again, submodalities. So maybe just 2 or 3 submodalities. What kind of light was it? You know, he walked into the office. There was a warm glow, the pitter-patter of rain gently against the windows. Okay, you see what I'm doing there, right? He can hear it, and it's also like the sense that he's close to the window with our character. 2 to 3 descriptors right there. And just from that, warm glow in the room, gentle pitter-patter of rain against the windows. Just from that description alone, you've created a whole world. Some people, that's like a 1940s noir murder mystery type of hardboiled detective scene. For other people, it's like an Oxford-style library, okay? And to still others, maybe they're imagining California-style modernist architecture, and then they see the ocean out there, and the warm glow is from some funky fluorescent light that's in the shape of a seashell. Each of those are completely different, but you can get all of them from just those 3 descriptions. This is dad joke persuasion. Remember the dad joke I just began this with, okay? About the Tennessee? Like, obviously the joke is people with a thick Appalachian accent, Eastern Tennessee, they're going to pronounce the word golf. How are they going to pronounce it? In Gatlinburg, Tennessee, there is a tourist attraction, a number of them. And I think the brand of Ripley's, there's a number of Ripley's facilities over there. One of them is a Ripley's miniature golf, adventure golf. And it's named after Davy Crockett. And they have a little cartoonish honey bear over there. And then they've got other little critters over there. And then there's the raccoon, who has a little shirt, a hat, and a shotgun. Is supposed to be like Davy Crockett, because Davy Crockett obviously wore his coonskin cap, okay, from the raccoon. Kind of graphic and dark, but it's kind of funny. And the voice of the little character, when you walk in there, this is going back to my memory from like 2006, 2007, the last time I was there. And I remember this so distinctly. The little raccoon character, you walk past him, motion activated, he goes, listen for the letter. Welcome to Davy Crockett Golf, is how he pronounces it. Golf. And so the fact that I don't say that part of the dad joke out loud at the end, that's the punchline, that's using the principle of hypnosis, where you allow the person to world build inside of their head. And now you're controlling their thoughts without actually telling them what to think. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? There's a lot of interesting lessons here in this episode of Daily Persuasion with Joshua Lisec, the New York Times bestselling author and co-author, ghostwriter of more than 100 nonfiction books, and the certified professional hypnotist. Through lessons like these, I teach you how to better influence the VIPs of your life and career. Feel free to subscribe to this on YouTube if you're not already. And if you're not already, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? Right? Okay, that's, I think, enough for today. I will continue my antics probably tomorrow, if not sooner.